Hello, and welcome to episode 41 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm also joined by drummer Matt. Say hello.
Hello.
So how have you lovely gentlemen been?
I'm okay. I'm surviving.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm alright, thank you. I'm trying to beat the cold, because it's like November here now, and that's killing me and everything I care about.
It is quite cold here at the moment, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's also cold here too, so I can't be smug this time.
It just means that next time it's warmer there, you're going to be extra smug to make up for it, so...
The other morning, when Ruth was leaving the house to go to work, it was -1. Which is pretty chilly for here.
That's
actually,
pretty chilly, yeah.
I was assuming when you said it was getting cold there, it meant you actually had to put a jumper on at some point, but no, that's actually genuinely cold.
Genuinely. I mean, it's not, but that was just quite early and it warmed up to like 10 or something, but yeah, it's not warm.
Over here, it changed basically from, it was quite comfortable, just wandering around hoodie weather, and then one day it was just like, oh yeah, by the way, it's 5 degrees outside.
Ugh.
And it was just like, what? And I've got my scarf on, I've got my big thick coat, and I've got my boots on. And it's just, that's my base state living in England.
You spend several months where you being Australian becomes more and more apparent because...
I'm wearing a hoodie in like 27 degree weather. And everyone's like, oh, it's so hot. And I'm like, nah, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's alright.
We're just used to it, but... So before we talk about what we've been up to,
yes,
I should probably mention that we did our big Nosferatu video.
We did.
Oh, I did enjoy that.
That was a lot of fun.
We did wonder like how well it'd go down because doing a German expressionist film from 1922 is a little bit outside our usual wheelhouse.
We don't make it easy for ourselves, do we?
But people seem to really like it. Actually, the weird thing is, quite a few people have suggested that, well, not suggested is the wrong word, have sort of requested that we also do a video like that on Metropolis, which is from, I think, 1927, I think. And is another German expressionist film, and is the only other German expressionist film I've seen.
You know, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think there's any YouTube money in video games anymore, or Warhammer. Let's just stick with German expressionist films,
and more importantly, you can stay outside of the weird grey area of copyright if you go for films from the 20s.
This is true.
You don't have to worry about any of that bullshit.
I know, it's great.
Yeah, but then we've got to worry with it, like everything being unsuitable for advertisers.
Just assume everything is unsuitable for that. Seems to be the way it is, right?
Yeah.
Everything is unsuitable.
Actually, weirdly, the most recent video that we put up when this has gone live, which is the Death Watch video, that was unsuitable for advertisers instantly as soon as that video processed, and then I put it in for review, and within 10 minutes it was categorized as suitable again.
The system works. So, sort of.
The system's there.
Normally it takes days. I honestly don't know what's fucking going on with that system anymore.
It's busted as fuck.
Yeah, it's definitely not a human reviewing it whenever you click review. These things seem to go through far too quickly for an actual human to make any decision.
Or very, very slowly.
Well, the last podcast, that got flagged, and then was approved, and then got flagged again, and still hasn't been approved again.
Oh, it's because of all those naked titty pictures we snuck in.
I don't know. But anyway, glad people like the Nosferatu video, because generally people have seemed to quite like it.
Yeah, because you work yourself to death over it.
Not really. Nowhere near
undeath.
Nowhere near as bad as the Rogue Trader video. Like, it was a fucking break compared to that.
Yeah.
Although people might like to know that the fake blood that we used in that, that didn't wash off very well at all.
I've still got it on my hand, and it was like over a week ago.
Nice. What did you use?
It was literally just fake blood. Like, the last time I love this channel. I just get covered in fake blood. It's my favourite thing in the world. I want to do more reviews where I get covered in fake blood. But anyway, First time we needed to use it for my whole blood for the blood gods screaming.
Yeah.
It was...
Your Tuesday
I
afternoon.
made it out of... Sorry?
Your Tuesday afternoon.
My Tuesday afternoon, exactly. I made it out of, like, coffee and food colouring, and there was a bit of corn flour in there as well for, like, just this thickness and stuff.
Yeah.
And that washed off immediately. This stuff, which was, like, pre-packaged, because, we did it around Halloween, so there was a lot of fake blood about. We were like, it's like a quid for a tube of fake blood. Let's do that. It'll be a bit easier. Fuck off. Oh, God. It had a fantastic consistency.
Yeah.
But yeah, has it come off my nails? Has it? Fuck.
See, it's all gone off me now, but we were left, like, for a couple of days afterwards with
With
this...
like massive pink patches on our neck.
It, like, wasn't instantly apparent, because it did just look like natural kind of tones of the skin. But when you actually looked, you're like, oh yeah, there's a very definite line where the
Yeah.
pink starts.
Yeah.
Important question.
Yes?
Have you damaged my couch?
No.
No.
Okay,
we
that
were
is
very
good.
careful.
That is good.
It was okay.
But anyway, what have you been up to, Mr. Matthew?
Mostly, I've been doing two things that I can't really talk about. Well, I mean, I can, but they're boring for everyone else. I've been listening to a lot of Streetlight Manifesto because all of my records turned up.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, 'cause
which
you-
I
there
did
was,
see
like-
that post on Instagram. Very nice haul.
I think I've mentioned it before, but in summary, their record label wasn't paying them, so therefore their record label sued them for them not paying them, or something that makes about as much sense as that. So I bought all the records because they bought.
Is it Victory Records?
It is Victory Records.
Bunch of twats.
Bunch of twats.
Bunch of twats.
But Streetlight bought all their own music back and then got into massive amounts of debt for that, and then reissued them all. So I was like, okay, my solution to this is I'll buy all of them.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And I was
They're
fully
all
expecting
vinyl, aren't
like
they?
custom. They are all vinyl, yes.
They do look very nice.
I'm thinking of it as an investment in me or something. I don't know.
And you're helping out a band that you've been doing
Yeah.
the work of for fucking God knows how long.
And
so.
it got through the postal service fine. I didn't have to pay any import tax, which was good. Because I
good.
had no
Excellent.
idea how that works here. I assume it's similar to the UK, in which case you get charged if it comes from America. But seemingly I didn't, so I don't know, whatever. I'm not asking any
that's good.
questions, just nod and agree. I've also spent a bit of time this last week. It's got it's a TV baking show, but it's not off again, don't worry. I'm not going to talk about this one, but I just want to mention that our local, but it's called the best bakery in France. In short, there's like 8 bakeries from around the country, and it's on every night, and someone gets voted off, blah blah blah. But our local bakery that I go to every day is one of the 8, and so far they've got through the first 3 rounds with like flying colours, which is great because then I can go the next day and buy the thing that they were making the night before. Obviously, it wasn't home the night before, but I don't know, it's quite nice.
Yeah.
But it's not very interesting for anyone. So, surprisingly, I've actually managed to squeeze in loads of other stuff.
Okay.
I have a list. Listen. It's actually a paper list of things. And the first is a confession.
Oh no.
Oh.
Because you guys might fall out with me, and everyone listening might fall out with me.
Okay.
You like
So-
pixels, don't you?
No, God, it's not that bad.
Okay.
I didn't even watch it, which would have probably... I think watching Pixels would be worse than this confession. But
Oh god.
anyway,
Okay.
no, it's not that bad. But, so, our list of films that we need to have seen and we haven't, and it's a bit embarrassing. I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
We watched one of the films from it. We watched the original Ghostbusters, because neither of us had seen it before.
Okay.
Really?
Yep. And I've got to say, without any nostalgia glasses, it's not a very good film at all.
That's your opinion, dude.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in years, so I couldn't say.
I
actually.
genuinely think it is worse in a both filmmaking objective point of view and a just enjoying it point of view than the new remake.
Okay, now people are complaining in writing.
Yeah, that is the confession I needed to make that people are going to be upset about. But I genuinely think that's true.
Anyone listening at home, if that makes you angry, stop and think that that's Drummer Matt's opinion and literally nothing has changed in your life. Because he's held that opinion up until he's admitted that, and your life was going fine until then. So stop writing an angry comment and just admit that he loves all the bad movies.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for you to try and persuade me nicely why it's not, but I just from how it's made, even if
Oh
you
no,
ignore...
the police are coming.
Oh, the police are coming, that is how
The
bad.
police are coming to get you.
Even if you just okay, well, the effects are rubbish, but that's not the point, so I can ignore that, that's fine, whatever. But it's just, all of the actors, I love a lot of the actors in it, but they phone it in so badly. They just look like they can't be arsed. It's just like, it looks like it's like a cheaply made fan film of the. I was like, this is just like a fan version of the original film that everyone likes, right? Because it's just not very well made. I'm sorry if it's your favourite film. I'm glad. I'm sure you enjoy it, and I'm sure I'm probably wrong. But
I am so glad that for once it's not me saying something that's going to get a long drawn out comment.
Yeah, I know.
You're going to get actually super hard, dude.
Yeah, no, probably, and that's fine. I probably deserve it. But just from watching it without any nostalgia, we kind of watched it, and we ended up watching it over 2 nights because we got halfway through and just got so bored we just went to bed.
Oh god.
Christ. I personally, I quite like the film, but then I have nostalgia for it because I watched it as a
think
kid.
it's fine. This is the thing. I thought it's an enjoyable film. I could watch it. I mean, I think the best part about it is the theme tune.
Oh yeah, God, yeah, the theme tune and the Scar version of the theme tune is the best.
The Scar version of the theme tune is so life changing.
So good. But yeah, so there we go. That's I haven't really got. I can't back up that opinion apart from the fact that we just thought it wasn't very good and thought it was a bit boring.
Fair enough.
So yeah, the one thing I will say about watching it is especially it was a bit, and then considering the time we're watching it at the moment. So you open up and it's a middle-aged white dude in a position of power, kind of abusing that power to try and hit on a girl, and go out his way to electrocute a dude so he can like chat up this girl. And then kind of the whole point of the film is him going after some woman who repeatedly says no until in the end she goes, "Oh fine, I give up."
Yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah.
It's definitely
it's a
off
little
the
bit.
time.
It has not aged well.
No.
Yeah, it's just like, and it wouldn't have aged well anyway. And then especially watching it at the moment with all that's going, all the revelations that seem to be coming out, it's just like, ooh, this is really quite uncomfortable to watch. Even aside from us not massively enjoying it anyway.
Yeah, I gotta ask, dude. Just putting you off. Is The Princess Bride on that list?
Oh yeah. That was the first one we watched off the list, actually.
Oh, good, because it's wonderful.
Yeah, no,
that movie
is a fantastic
wonderful.
film.
It's so good. It's so fucking good. I'm trying to think, like, because speaking of older films, guess what I'm going to see tonight? And I guess I'm taking the husband as well.
You suppose.
I mean, if he behaves, I'm going to go see Predator tonight in cinemas.
In cinemas.
Because it's the 30th anniversary. Like, so I'm gonna go see it, and I'm so fucking excited because we saw Terminator 2.
Yes.
But it was in 3D. But this one is in, like, Predator's just in standard 2D.
Oh, nice.
So it's like, and then, like, in a week and a half, we're gonna go see Alien in the cinema. And it's just, I love it how they've just realised that, hey, maybe instead of remaking everything and making it shit, for the most part, I'm tarring everything with the same brush here, maybe just re-release these old films that everyone fucking loves.
Yeah.
I've gone to see, I'm going to see like 3 of them.
Yeah, in 1 year, just because they happen to have actually shown them.
Yeah, because I was, born about the time that Predator was released in cinemas, so I couldn't have really gone and enjoyed it. But no, I am super fucking hyped for that. That's going to be so good. Have you seen Predator?
It is on the list.
Okay, have you seen Alien?
Ditto.
Aliens?
Yeah, the whole series. It's because like the sort of hot type of stuff was just never quite our thing, so I never quite got around to it. But I do. It is on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can skip everything past the first 2 Alien films, honestly.
Oh, and if you watch Aliens, watch the director's cut.
Okay.
Yeah, it is better. Yeah. But yeah. So anything else, Matt? Because you said you have a huge list.
I do.
He was just bragging.
I do.
Hey.
Let's stick with other film things quickly. Films that this one probably won't age well, but at the time, the new Thor film.
I've heard it's fantastic, and I really do want to see it.
It's good. I think it's probably quite of a time, so I don't know how it will hold up, but it's very good.
It looks exactly like the sort of Marvel movie that I want.
Yes.
Because I really like
Thor in it.
Yeah, I really like Thor, but the Thor movies have always been a bit crap.
Yeah, this is the opposite of that.
Yeah, but it's also set in a very colourful, vibrant, almost Guardians of the Galaxy-esque type thing. Yeah. And since Guardians of the Galaxy is my favourite Marvel movie,
that's okay.
Like I when I saw trailers for Ragnarok, I was like, yeah, I should probably go see that at some point.
Yeah, no, it is very good, and even the story in it is like it's different. It's not just Skybeam defeats Skybeam, end of film. It's like the story's got a bit more to it as well, and it's just like it ticks all the boxes, man.
He knows him from work.
And
I love that.
I know. I was actually that was the only slight disappointment in it, in that would have been so much better if it wasn't in the trailer first.
That's the problem with trailers.
But
though.
I mean, that's just trailers, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
Ooh,
really.
this is. I'm just reminded this wasn't on my list, but a while ago we mentioned about ridiculous spoilers, such as Matt, your example of Planet of the Apes with the picture of the Statue of Liberty on the back.
Yeah.
Which is just like, okay, that's everyone probably knows that, but equally, if you don't, that's a ridiculous spoiler.
Yeah.
A little, yes.
The title of the film, The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
In France, the title of that film is The Escapees. It's like, so I'm guessing they're going to escape then. Obviously in French, but like, oh, okay, right. So that kind of takes away any of the, are they going to get away?
It's like, I have seen that a lot of, like, in different countries, in different languages, that, like, for argument's sake, this isn't real, but, like, they would call Terminator, like, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a robot and is trying to kill a woman, I guess. But it'd be in, like, German or
Terminator
something.
2,
It's like, what?
Arnie's not the bad guy.
Yeah, which, if you, like, oh god, I've watched that movie so many fucking times, and I have poured through so many different things, and, like, I've sat there and gone, okay, I'm gonna pretend that I've never seen this before, and the only film I've ever seen is The Terminator, so that they think Arnie's gonna be the bad guy. And that moment in the back of the mall when he's get down, I'm like, ah! I could scream every single time. It's so fucking good. And then when the T-1000 gets, like, completely punked, and then you're like, oh, okay, wait a fucking minute, and then it gets up and you're like, what is that? Just so good.
Yeah.
Sorry, can we just talk about this? Welcome to the Terminator 2 podcast.
We're not. Matt's trying to talk about his topics.
Oh, okay.
Make the most of me having topics for a change.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
it's topics that people are going to hate me for, apparently.
I know, but I just get so excited about Terminator 2. I can't help myself.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Carry on.
Back to Thor. Have I talked to you about What We Do in the Shadows? I feel like it's a film I've made you watch.
I've watched it and it's great.
Yeah,
actually, I was going to briefly mention it later because I watched it recently.
Cool, because that's Taika Waititi, the director of Thor.
Oh, okay.
Cool. His humour from What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilder People, they're the only two I've actually seen. There's a couple more, but they're all quite indie New Zealandy films. But that sort of humour, if you've seen any of his films, they do it so well. They bring it in, and there is that humour in the Thor, but it's like it's kind of throughout it, and doesn't feel like it's been forced in there, or it doesn't feel like he wanted to make an indie film, but Marvel made him do this big thing. It's like it blends so well together. I don't know how they've done it, but it's so good.
By being masters.
That's good because the last Thor film, The Dark World, was very dour.
Yeah.
I watched the first one with Natalie Portmanteau.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was fine. I love Chris Hemsworth as Thor.
Oh yeah.
I just want to grab him by the face and squeeze his cheeks until his head explodes. He's just adorable. And I relate to him on a very, very deep level because, that photo coming out of him recently where he was in, like, this really fancy restaurant without his shoes on. I was like, mate.
I mean, that's the thing I was saying.
He's Australian, I mean, come on.
I know. I'm just like, you can take the boy out of Australia.
But yeah, that's the thing I was saying. Like, I really like the portrayal of Thor in the movies, but he's just not been served well by the movies.
Yeah. No, this. Yeah, I highly recommend seeing this. It's very good.
Okay.
I've not heard a bad word, so I really do want to see it. I've got to get my old movies out the way before I go see my new movies.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I'll make the most of it because this will probably be on in cinema for ages, and these old reissues are not going to. Are these just a one showing of it?
Usually, it's like one day.
Yeah, it's like one day, one showing.
Yeah,
because it's yeah.
Make the most of it, man.
Yeah, definitely.
It is your time.
It is my time.
What better place than here? What better time than now?
Do it.
My last TV film related thing before I actually have a gaming topic to talk about.
Good lord.
I would talk about Stranger Things, but we only watched the first few episodes and then got distracted by another show. So, Stranger Things, have you watched the new series yet?
No, I've been meaning to.
Yeah, well, we can talk. I'm sure that we'll have things to talk about it, but that can be a future episode. It's after everyone else has had a chance to watch it as well, because we don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, suffice to say, the first series, I think we spoke about it being excellent. So
Yeah, first series is
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think that's the reason why I haven't like rushed to see the second one. Of the,
You still enjoying the hype from the first?
yeah,
I kind of in a way I kind of hoped they wouldn't make a second
yeah. It
season.
was just a yeah.
Yeah, but anyway,
We got distracted by watching that by. It's a very weird recommendation. It's a Netflix show. And it's called The Good Place.
okay.
I got recommended to it by watching a Tom Scott. You know Tom Scott, YouTube, does mostly educational, interesting places, interesting facts type videos.
I'm not familiar with him now.
He does just various things, but he's got like a second channel where him and his cameraman effectively do a chat about videos and chat about other things. But they recommended it, and he recommended it in the same way that I'm going to recommend it, in that the first season is kind of crap. But not in a sort of a lot of shows where it's like, okay, the first season's crap, but then it kind of falls into it, like kind of they get the writing act together or something happens and it gets better. The first season is kind of crap on purpose, I think. I don't know. It's very weird. I don't want to explain why because I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
But it's worth the first season being crap to then get to the end of the first season where it gets excellent.
Okay.
Okay, what kind of genre
So
is
What kind of
it's
genre
a
is it?
sitcom, and it opens up.
Okay.
This is the first like 30 seconds of the show. The main character wakes up, finds out that she's gone to the good place. She's died and she's gone to the good place.
Okay.
Then a few minutes after that, you very quickly realise, or she realises, that basically she's not meant to be there, and there's been some kind of administrative cock up.
right?
That's being human as fuck, honestly.
So that is how it starts, and I'm not going to say anything else about it, but it's worth the first season. Some of the humour is a bit, this isn't very funny at all, and it's just a little bit naff, but it's enough to watch, and you can be like, okay, whatever, fine. But it's kind of no better than any other generic, I don't know, Big Bang Theory-esque sitcom type thing. But it's worth watching to get to the end of that season.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, I would recommend. And then the second season's currently showing now, and yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, I'll check that out. Thanks,
I won't
dude.
say any more, but yeah, it's a weird one, but go for it. Games.
Video games. We should
Video
probably stop talking
games.
about those.
We should. BlizzCon's happened.
It has.
Have you got anything to say about this? Is it on your list?
It occurred to me at the start of BlizzCon. No. I literally just have 4 things written down because I've
Okay.
done fuck all this week.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, Moira. The new Overwatch. Okay, don't turn off. I'm only going to spend like a minute talking about Moira. They actually announced before our podcast, rather than on the day after we fucking recorded.
Yeah.
So immediately I'm like, something's up. Something's fucking up. But yeah, new hero Moira. She's a healer. People have been asking for healers for like a long ass time. She's a Talon operative. She's kind of like Zenyatta. She's got bouncy balls
She does have
that
bouncy
heals
balls.
or hurts, and she's got like a beam, and it's just fantastic. And she's literally just David Bowie.
Yeah.
What?
She's this tall, long, androgynous like woman from Dublin, and she has a skin called Glam that is straight up David fucking Bowie.
Nice. I have
So
not seen
good.
that. Oh, excellent.
Dude, Google it. You won't.
Yeah,
you won't
her
be
glam
upset.
skin is halfway between David Bowie and Kefka from Final Fantasy VI.
So good.
Ooh, okay.
Which I didn't realise how much I needed in my life.
Yeah. So you found a new main.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been playing her on the PTR, and I've been enjoying her playstyle. It's quite strange, but it's a nice mix-up of kind of things that are already present in the game. But I think she's quite refreshing, and I like her little bits of Irish accent coming out, and I like
nice.
how she's tall, log, and very, very thin, and I just think she's really, really cool design, and I think she's fun to play. Anyway, moving on. BlizzCon, drama butt.
Yeah. I didn't actually have that much to say about it. I assumed you might have more, but I did have my one thing that I did notice that I've taken away from this. The new World of Warcraft trailer for the new expansion.
Oh my god, yes. Oh, I was cynical as fuck. It might surprise you, but I was being very cynical about this.
Yeah, well, that's my one main takeaway from the trailer. All I could think the whole time watching it through was going, wow, this looks like a shit mobile game.
Yeah,
That's
holy shit, I get it.
It looks worse than, you know, whenever you're on the start of a YouTube video, or if you're on various apps, like Duolingo shows you videos occasionally and things.
Yeah.
It shows you videos for the shittest of the shit mobile games that they want to just milk your money from.
Like that weird Final Fantasy one they keep doing.
Yeah,
It's
there's
like a
Final
base
Fantasy
builder.
SimCity thing.
Yeah, it's like that, and on Duolingo it keeps.
I
trying
was like,
to get
this
me to do
is.
that.
I assume this is a rip-off of the real game. I looked into it. Oh no, it's a real like official game. But it just looks so much. The new WoW trailer looks so much worse than all of those. I was like, what's happened?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for those of you who don't know, it's Battle for Azeroth, World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth.
Which is possibly the most boring name for an expansion I've ever heard.
Yeah, probably. Apart from Cataclysm, which, let's face it, was pretty bad.
Yeah, but at least that suggests something's happening. Battle for Azeroth might as well just say we've run out of ideas. Horde versus Alliance.
That's literally what it is, though.
know.
So,
Yeah.
Interesting title. It actually tells you what it is. Now,
I mean, hey, at least they've stopped remaking Burning Crusade.
yeah, they fucking... The fact that they have Illidan dragged in Legion is just like, fuck off. Illidan's always been a twat. I don't care. But whatever. I keep playing WoW because it's my depression game.
I was going to ask. I was just like, yeah, are you guys still on?
It's just me I am the only one out of all of us that keep playing.
Okay.
It's just me. Every time I log on, I'm fucking alone.
So I occasionally just have like, occasionally I have prangs of being like, oh, I could go back to it, and then I resist, and then I
I've
don't.
found like I'm doing content, but I'm really just enjoying like roleplay. Like I roleplay with my friend Josh a lot. Not as much as I should, but it's nice. It's nice to just have a character and wander around. And again, it's like without dropping the word depression, because I have been diagnosed. I haven't self-diagnosed. And that's a really comfortable game for me to play when I'm really down. It's good, to focus on grinding and just letting the grind kind of take me away and whatnot. So
having functionally endless content is quite useful in that
There's always
situation.
something you can do, really, because it's been around for fucking at least a decade. So, and I've been playing a lot of that lately because that's my excuse, is what I'm saying. Whereas, there's been always this big pull, and like everyone, I feel like 99% of people who sit there and go, oh yeah, because these people still play. The people who sit there and trade chat all day complaining about how the game now sucks, and how it was so much better in vanilla, and Burning Crusade was the only expansion they'll ever cope with, and the game fucking shit. It's like, but you're still playing it. Okay, fine. Like, it feels like they finally clocked on to the fact that, hey, people want old school WoW. So the whole shutting down all the legacy servers a while ago starts to make a lot of sense.
Yeah, because
that's what they're bringing in.
They're bringing back. Well, they're bringing old school WoW servers.
Yeah.
Which,
or at least as is my understanding.
From what I understand, they're making a handful of servers for that. Yeah.
Which is like, my feeling on this is there's gonna be maybe 95% of people who go, finally, I'm finally gonna go and enjoy WoW again, and then they're gonna log on for like a week and realise that it's all rose-tinted glasses, and WoW was actually pretty shit back in the day, and the only reason they liked it is because it was a very new, awe-inspiring experience. Like, MMOs...
and everyone was playing it back then.
And everyone was playing it, so it was like full up, it was an amazing experience. And that's not there anymore. So they're gonna go, oh shit, maybe I just got bored of WoW. Yeah. And, the whole, like, doing new things to something like WoW it's gonna be a minefield anyway, sympathy where it's due, I guess, with Blizzard here. It's like, if they change anything, half of the fan base is going to start screaming and crying and swearing blood oaths.
Yeah.
If they don't change anything, they're not changing anything. It's gonna get stale. It's boring.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like how they've changed. I think artifact weapons are fantastic because I just think that's really fun. Like little things around that, like world quests and world assaults. I think like there's a really nice kind of touch. It makes it feel like things are going on, and it's just I like it. But a lot of people probably don't because it's not fucking Burning Crusade or vanilla. So now those people will realise how fucking wrong they were and shut the fuck up eventually, I hope. Oh my god, I'm sick. Every time I'm in Stormwind or fucking Orgrimmar, oh, I remember when it was in vanilla and it was so much better. All of you Wrath babies can suck my fucking balls. Like,
talking about that, like, Wrath of the Lich King came out so fucking
I know,
long ago.
it's part of the battle chest now and everything. But, like, people are still decrying, like, Pandaria is the worst, which is like, that's fine.
See, I remember playing, like, WoW. I can't remember. I think it might have been late Burning Crusade the first time I played
The
it,
first time we ever played it, yeah.
and thinking, this is absolute hot garbage, I hate it.
I remember I played for like a solid week and I just got to level 9.
Yeah, I played for months and months and got to like level 17 or something.
Yeah, and it's like, you can tell they knew people were paying monthly.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like I'm boosting I'm taking a new character through. I've got like a Pandaren mage. Yeah, you can hate on me. I like the Pandaren. They're older than I like them. I think they're really adorable. And a lot of people go, well, they're just copy Kung Fu Panda. It's like, Chen Stormstone helped found fucking Orgrimmar, but whatever. Yeah, let's stick with your lore.
aren't Pandaren from Warcraft 3?
They're fucking old as shit.
Yeah.
But whatever. And, like, I'm going through Burning Crusade right now. I've just come out of it, thank Christ. Because that's I hate Burning Crusade.
That's one of the things they're updating in the new patch, apparently.
Yeah?
They're widening the
bad.
level boundaries for zones, and you can do things in different orders or mix bits out. So if you just want to miss out all of, like, Burning Crusade stuff, now you can.
That is another really cool thing that they brought in with Legion, because on the Broken Isles, which is the Legion continent...
Yeah. It's that, but they're expanding that to the world, apparently.
Yeah. But for those who don't know, like, there are, like, say, 4 different big quest hub zones. Like, Valshara, Azuna, High Mountain, and Stormheim. And at any level, you can just go to one and it will adjust to your level. So you can do things in a different order, which I think is really good, especially for an altaholic like myself. It's really nice to just not have to go through the same fucking path. I mean, once you get there, you do it enough, it's the same path anyway, but... You can at pretty much any time just go, I'm bored of this zone, I'm going to go to Stormheim. And then you get bored of Stormheim and go, I'm going to go to High Mountain. And then you can... I really do like that. And I'm glad that they're going to be putting more of that in, because fuck Burning Crusade, I hate it so much.
I think the problem is that we've only ever seen Burning Crusade from the perspective of going through that...
People who have sense.
Well...
People who have played the new and improved and better game.
Of going through that as mid-game content rather than it being end-game content. Yeah. And as mid-game content, it's so poorly designed for that.
It's like hitting a brick wall. I mean, like, I will say, obviously, it was the Wild West back then. They really didn't know how to expand very well, so they made a lot of mistakes. But the thing is, it does smack of a lot of vanilla WoW and a lot of you're paying for your time spent here. So it's like...
Also, and this is a minor point, the quest structure of those areas is fucking garbage.
I was literally about to say that. The quest structure... Okay, so you go to, like, a quest hub, say, in the Hellfire Peninsula, which is, like, the first area you go to in the Burning Crusade expansion. So you go to Honor Hold, which is kind of, like, in the middle, and it's like, hey, so you're in the middle, walk 10 minutes north to turn in a quest, and then they'll go, yes, thank you for coming here. You need to kill 40 of these things, and... because they drop this one item, which 10% of them will drop, and that's about 20 minutes south. Well, it's not that bad, but it's like, if you're walking, Christ, it's a long-ass way. And it's just featureless, and there's things are so far apart, and there's so many enemies there, and to top that off, they have a fucking Fell Reaver walking around that's just going to stamp on you and kill you instantly if you bump into the prick. It's just awful. I mean, things get a little bit less horrible once you get to, like, Shatrath, and I love that name, by the way, and, like, Terakar, or wherever the fuck it is. Like, as you kind of move on from there, it gets a little less egregious, but it's still pretty bad. And then the Lich King's next, and Lich King is so good. I mean, I might be biased because it's got werewolves, and it's got... and all the werewolves have, like, very kind of Scandinavian kind of names, and it's full of ice and snow and bones and death knights, and I'm a massive goth, and I think that's awesome. But it's still pretty amazing. But yeah, so you can tell they figured out a lot more things in the Lich King. So yeah, I don't understand. I mean, no, I do understand why people have nostalgia for WoW Vanilla and Burning Crusade, but as someone who came in and seriously started playing it just at the end of Wrath, it's not that good. It's, like, I don't have the nostalgia there, and I can look back and go, this is just shit. Yeah,
Burning Crusade is your Ghostbusters, is what you're saying.
Yes. I like Legion way better, because that's the remake of it. Well, fuck, no, that's fucking Warlords of Draenor, is the remake of fucking Burning Crusade.
Yeah.
And then they went... shit, we need to remake it again, but not as fucking shitty. So they kind of made it again and focused it on the Draenei.
Yeah.
But still, yeah. That's why people tune in to hear about fucking 12-year-old video game expansions.
Yes.
Also, I completed American McGee's Alice on stream, which is 17 years old.
You did, yes.
I did. Because we like talking about the old games here.
You had other video game things to talk about, Matthew.
Yeah.
No. My last topic, it was game related, but not video game related.
Okay.
Okay.
But it is Games Workshop related. Have you seen the Necromunda trailer?
You know, I actually haven't watched the trailer itself. I realise that now.
We're fake fans.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen the stuff about the game. I've
Oh, yeah,
seen the
just-
models and everything.
Just haven't seen the actual trailer, which means we're fake fans.
Apparently.
Sorry, everyone.
Well, I've
Goddamn.
not seen much about the thing apart from I've seen the trailer and seen a little bit on the web. They don't give away much on the website. But it looks pretty good. Because I've never played it, but I like the idea of that sort of small scale. You've got your gang and they all level up separately and you can like build your gang and they get experience and it's...
Drama Matt, is this your way of asking if we want to form a gang with you? Because yes, I would love to form a Necromunda type gang with you.
We would be the best gang.
We'd be... Well, I'm trying to think of we are werewolves, not swearwolves. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
We could all be werewolves, there we go, and then we could use that, it's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just I like the idea of that. I tried to get the Mantic equivalent, which I had a quick game with one of you at some point. What's it called? Dead Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a couple of games of Dead Zone with you.
Yeah, we bought into that, and it seemed to work quite well. But it doesn't have the Games Workshop. I don't know, like finesse
Characters.
or like draw to it somehow. I don't know. It's like
I think putting it in the 40k universe and having all of that baggage going into it does mean that you can't help but be a little more drawn to it.
it's like Dead Zone. I got like all four. They're not gangs or houses, but they're like whatever the different factions are. You got 4 factions, and you got loads of like 3D terrain and things, and that it wasn't that expensive. And compared to, I assume Necromunda is going to be probably a similar price, but you only get 2 of the gangs and you only get 2D terrain. I was like, well, you just get less for your money.
Yeah, that's the GW name.
But somehow I'm more drawn to it still, even though like I can go to a cupboard at home wherever I've kept it and get out what is kind of a similar game and play that now without spending more money.
It's because the 40k look of paint, you love the 40k like mythos and you're comfortable within it, so it's more familiar to you, so you're always going to be drawn to something that you're more knowledgeable about and you like better anyway, so...
But no, I don't know exactly what the rules are like and whether they're changing them from... Because Blood Bowl came out and it was exactly the same, like they didn't really change the rules at all.
Yeah.
From what I hear, Necromunda is based largely on the 8th edition 40k rules, but obviously tweaked to make it function. That might be entirely wrong, that's just what I've heard. Okay. It does have blast markers though, so you do have...
I did see it came with its markers and things.
So that's fun. You've still got your blast templates in there, and then flamer templates.
When we move back, and I've got... Well, firstly, I can buy things at British prices, not at Euro prices, because it's just more expensive here by quite a long way. And I haven't got anywhere to store it anyway, because our flat's tiny. But when I come back, I think that is a rabbit hole I could fall down.
The Necromundan rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's the end of the Drummer Mat show, I think. That's all of my things.
Okay.
So now
I can hear the chimes at any fucking time it likes.
Oh yeah, what time is it? Oh yeah, these are the 10 past 3 bells, you know. That's fine. Oh sorry, 9 minutes past 3.
Oh no. We've lost him.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to wait for them to finish.
No, it's fine. I want to make the bells a part of it. So, Drummer Matt, explain about the any time ringing for no reason bells.
Oh yeah, we live by a cemetery, which is not anywhere near as goth and cool as it sounds. It's fine.
It sounds pretty goth and cool.
It's quite a nice cemetery. But the point is, there's bells that ring like above the gate. I think it's the cemetery bells. There's a church as well, but I think this is actually the bell above the gate in the cemetery, and it rings like quarter of an hour before they lock the doors because no one wants to be trapped in there overnight. Really.
Well, I mean,
not after the first
weakling,
after the first 3 times anyway.
Oh no, because then people start wondering why you're only showing up to like graves
and...
with like a blanket and a jar of Vaseline, and you just don't need that kind of publicity.
But yeah, and then throughout the rest of the day, the bell rings at just like, for example, it started ringing just now. It's currently 9 minutes past 3. So these are the standard 9 minutes past 3 in the afternoon bells. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's a particular religious faction thing, or I don't know. I'm like, possibly being really ignorant here, so sorry, but...
Well, no, it's like, my only thought is like, does it ring every time someone's buried?
I don't know. It's a huge cemetery, so like...
sneezes and it's a bad one? Are they prepping for someone to die?
Oh, no,
is it a threatening thing? Like, Mum, every time I ring this bell, you get closer to fucking death.
It might be the equivalent of the Klingon death scream thing.
Oh.
Where they ring the bell to warn Stovokor that a Klingon warrior approaches.
No, yeah, that's it. So, yeah, you're next to a Klingon cemetery, dude.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's
it
so
depends.
cool.
Are we talking Discovery Klingons? Or...
Okay, no, we're talking about actual fucking Klingons.
Talk about real
Klingons. Don't start.
Sorry.
I guess that would be a good segue.
You know what would make an even better segue? If you didn't fucking point out that was a good fucking segue.
The best way of segueing is the obvious segue where you point it out.
Okay, let's ride this segue towards Wib then, shall we?
Yes.
So, my format that I came up with last week, well, not last week, last episode, of just pointing out the one continuity error that really annoyed me about the 2 Discovery episodes since last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a section commonly known as Wib Talks About Discovery.
And is angry.
Not angry, just disappointed.
And is not angry, but disappointed.
So, episode 7 and 8 came out. So, the continuity errors in the 2 episodes, to point out, in episode 7, Harry Mudd's in it, who's a character from the original series, who was sort of just he's not a good person, but he's...
Isn't he like a proto-Ferengi?
He is in a way, yeah. He's sort of he's a liar and a cheat and a rogue, but he's fundamentally mostly harmless. Mostly.
So is he a Ferengi or not?
He's not Ferengi. No, he's human.
I mean, is he a proto-Ferengi or not?
He kind of is, yeah. Sort of supposed to be more negative traits of humanity. He's in this, but he's been grimdarked up. So apparently, in his younger days, he was a straight up fucking murderer. Like he murders so much of the Enterprise crew. It is not Enterprise, Discovery crew.
Fucking when did this happen? Oh god.
Oh come on, that would be less. That would be just as much of a continuity error as anything else in the show. So he's now apparently a serial killer. Also, and I hate to double up on the continuity errors.
Yeah, you get one per show. That's the rule.
Yeah, well, this isn't a continuity error. This is just a weird thing about the episode.
Okay.
That I just need to mention. So they have some music playing. Oh. And you know how normally in a sci-fi they'll play something that sounds a bit weird because it's supposed to be futuristic. Yeah. Quite a common thing they'll do. Things like Mass Effect do it, where what they actually do is kind of have like modern music, but with like an 80s twinge to it, because even though that's technically retro, it still sounds a bit off, and so it's still kind of alien to us, because that's not what modern music sounds like. They just have Wyclef Jean playing.
Well, they like that classical kind of music, do they?
Yeah. They don't mention it being classical, it's just that's the music they're listening to.
But it's straight up classical fucking music.
Yeah, it's hundreds of years old. It's like, what? And I have to be honest...
So Discovery is just staffed entirely by fucking hipsters.
Yeah, maybe. In episode 8, I have to be honest, there was no continuity errors that bothered me in episode 8 whatsoever. It wasn't a particularly interesting episode, but it was kind of a very Star Trek-y episode in what was going on.
Okay.
Actually, to be fair, episode 7, the whole thing about it was like repetition in time of like going through the same event over and over again, trying to fix things out, and one person knows what's happening, which I'm pretty sure has happened in, I think, an episode of Voyager, but...
It was Groundhog Day.
But it's Groundhog Day, and it's a very Trek premise. Harry Mudd's now a serial killer. But that does...
Tribble's going to turn into facehuggers at some point.
There is a Tribble in the first episode. It's just sitting there cooing gently on Captain Lorca's desk.
That's pretty good. I don't really want a Tribble.
And made me feel good because the cooing of Tribbles is very soothing.
Well, yeah, because they make you want to pet them. And it doesn't work on me, though.
Spock was assured it doesn't work on him, that he sits there stroking it. But that does lead me to another subject. So Discovery being kind of a bit of a disappointment and all that.
When you say another subject, do you actually mean the same subject?
Yes.
Sort of. So, I've been doing a thing, inspired by your watching of movies.
Yes.
That you have always meant to watch. I've been doing a bit of that myself as well. So, I watched What We Did in the Shadows because you two won't shut up about it.
Yes.
This is good.
It's
the
good.
best.
Good movie.
It's
I like
fun.
it.
It's just too real. It's like, yeah, that's exactly what it would be like if vampires were alive nowadays.
Also, because we've just done Nosferatu, it seemed to be a fitting time to do it. To watch
and there's
it.
actually a surprising amount of like references that I didn't get because I hadn't seen Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And then when I was watching,
Yeah.
like when he raises out the coffin, in both, like the one in What We Do in the Shadows is obviously a nod to Nosferatu, and
Yeah.
I didn't
His
realise
name is-
that. So thank you.
The Nosferatu guy, his name is just Pete, isn't it?
It's Peter with a Y.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Peter, yeah.
I wish it was subtitles.
Oh,
so.
Peter
Okay.
got him.
Oh.
But anyway, I also watched 2001: A Space Odyssey,
Ooh.
which is fucking weird but great.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do really like it, but also, what the fuck?
Yeah. The ending is.
I like how I actually looked it up because I'm not like a big cinephile or anything, so I wondered what the movie meant, like if there was a defined meaning of it. I looked it up and
Very anti-capitalist message there.
no, it's just it's not got one defined meaning, and everyone disagrees on what it's supposed to represent. So it's like, okay, good. So I'm not being stupid. It is supposed to be. It's intentionally made to be very vague and to be whatever you want it to be. So okay. But one of the other movies I watched was Star Trek Beyond.
Star Trek Beyond.
I mean, that doesn't quite.
I can't hear Star Trek Beyond without going into that.
I mean, I'm assuming Star Trek Beyond is not exactly a film that you're embarrassed to admit you haven't seen.
No, because to fill in the backstory, I think the first Star Trek movie, which I think was from 2009, of the remakes, it wasn't Star Trek at all, but it was fine as a remake and a reboot. It did the job. I think the way it did it, of like the splitting of the timelines, was a very good way of doing it. As many people will know, Star Trek Into Darkness I hate with an unbridled passion, and is one of the movies that makes me the most angry of all movies.
Oh shit! You've actually just set the rug on fire with your ionized hate.
Yes, I really, really hate that movie.
Okay,
So
I need to go get a blanket or something. It's really getting quite big.
So, Star Trek Beyond, I've been told it was way better. I've been told it was at least as good as the first of the new Star Trek movies. So I was like, well, I'll watch it at some point, and I'll probably, and if it is of that quality, I won't hate it. But I
can't remember. I think I said something about it on the podcast at some point, but I can't for the life of me remember. When you said you'd watched it, I was like, which one was that again? Because I think I've completely forgotten, which isn't a good sign. But I can't remember. I don't think I hated it, but I can't actually remember what I thought.
Well, having now seen it, I can say I absolutely love it.
What? Fucking what?
I'm
sorry, could you say that
Hang on.
into my good ear?
I genuinely look. This is a new piece of Star Trek. I say new; it's a few years old now, but I absolutely love it. I think it is vastly superior to. If I'm absolutely honest, it's probably better than all the Next Generation films. I like First Contact more, but that's
right. Absorb all the hate that was originally going towards me. Do it. Do it.
You are a sponge of hatred.
The thing is, all the Next Generation movies, bar Generations, just feel like an extra long episode of the show with more money. They don't feel like movies. Generations does feel like a movie, it's just not a very good one.
Fair enough.
So, I don't know. I don't think I'm on my own in thinking that the Next Generation movies were largely First Contact was good, even if it was, not really, more just an elaborate version of an episode.
Which is the one with Tom Hardy in?
That is Nemesis. No one likes Nemesis.
No, I don't like Nemesis. Sorry, guys, don't get angry at me because I don't like Star Trek fucking Nemesis.
If I watched
but
it now,
no,
I'd probably like it because I like Tom Hardy a bit too much.
He's
Star Trek Beyond, it basically fixes literally every single problem I have with the reboots. Like,
you want to know
everyone.
why? Because Simon Pegg wrote it.
Yeah, Simon Pegg and another bloke wrote it rather than Roberto Orsi, the 9/11 truther.
Yeah, I mean that's an improvement there.
And it's not directed by J.J. Abrams. And I don't dislike J.J. Abrams as a director, but I hate what he does to Star Trek. I hate the look of it.
His style doesn't quite fit with what is stereotypical Star Trek.
Yeah, and the guy who's actually done it is a guy who normally does the Fast and the Furious movies of all things.
Wow, good on him.
But it feels like its directing and its writing feels so much more Star Trek. There's humour in it, and it's sometimes a bit silly, but it's the same kind of silly as old Star Trek. When it makes references to old things, it does it in a very warm, nice way, as opposed to just fucking with previous canon. Which especially Into Darkness, I'm not even going to start about how much that wrecks continuity.
We don't have enough. There's not enough Megs on the internet.
It's like I know it's a split in the timeline, but the Kelvin timeline occurs after a set place, so it is the Prime Universe up to a point, and Into Darkness and all of the stuff they changed is from before that split.
Doesn't it split when Khan is made?
No, it splits when it's to do with the USS. I think it's the USS Kelvin being destroyed.
Okay, I couldn't tell if it was the eugenic wars or not. I don't know enough.
No, the eugenics wars is a completely different kettle of fish from the entirety of Star Trek canon changing when that happened.
That's fine.
Because it originally happened in 1996, I believe.
Oh, the distant space future of 1996.
But yeah, I think it's. I've only seen the first new Star Trek movie once, so I think it's the Kelvin gets destroyed by Nero. Is his name Nero?
That sounds about right.
The villain.
The coffee place?
I think maybe. I don't know. But yeah, when that ship gets destroyed by him coming back in time, that's what actually changes the timeline.
Okay, no worries.
And so all the stuff to do with Khan happened. A couple of 100 years before that, so shouldn't be any different from the Prime Timelines version, but apparently is now.
Oh, because they did a Frozen on him.
Yeah, and apparently being Frozen changed him from Ricardo Montalban into Benedict Cumberbatch for some reason.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But anyway, on to something good.
Yes!
Star Trek Beyond, they changed, so the way it feels like they make references to old episodes, like they're talking about a ship that went missing, and they're like, oh, some say the Romulans got it, some even say, a big green hand came up and grabbed it out of the sky, which is a reference to an original series episode. Like, they even give a send-off to Leonard Nimoy in it, because obviously he died between
now I'm just
that
sad
and
again.
Into Darkness. And they even do one really tiny thing that makes me very happy. So the redesign of the Enterprise has one thing on it that drives me fucking insane, which is
the guy who plays Scarlet in Heroes.
No.
I couldn't think of anyone else.
No,
I was like, shit. that guy.
No, I think Zachary.
He's a really good Spock. Actually.
Yeah, Zachary Quinto makes a great Spock. I just wish there was more than one good movie he's been in playing Spock.
Yeah. Well, he didn't write them.
Oh, I know. I was not blaming him.
Don't stop throwing shade on Zachary Quinto. Oh my god.
I'm
Are you
not.
trying to start beef with Zachary fucking whatever his name is? Oh my god.
I'm just gonna let you finish.
Why you
get
like
Keemstar up in here. Yeah, I know, right? He's being so vitriolic for no reason.
Anyway, so yeah, the ship, the old Enterprise design from the first two movies, and this is a really minor point, but it really annoys me, is its nacelles, the engine parts at the back, are weirdly close together. Like, so when you see the ship... No, when you see the ship from nearly...
Are you really complaining about they look a bit too close
together?
No,
this is like a genuine thing, because all other Starfleet ships that we've seen throughout whatever continuity, their nacelles tend to be, if not the widest part of the ship, then they are, quite close to that kind of distance. So they're not very close together, unless it's a ship with only with centralized nacelles or something. There's some that have those. So the fact that this has them so close together just always looked really off kilter to me. It always made it look really out of what's the word? Not perspective. Base. Proportion. Yeah. It looked weirdly unproportioned, and it always looked really weird to me. When they get spoilers, the Enterprise gets destroyed. It's in the fucking trailer.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm surprised it wasn't on the poster.
Well, it's the third Star Trek movie. They had to kill it. The Enterprise, the original Enterprise, gets destroyed in the search for Spock. So there's a new one, the Enterprise A, created, and that one's nacelles are the same kind of distance apart as the original Enterprise's nacelles, so it actually looks right to me again. That's a really minor flaw, and I don't hate the other two movies because of that. That's just a minor point that annoys me.
That would be fucking ridiculous.
That would be ridiculous.
If you did.
But the fact that when they went through this one, they fixed everything I disliked, right down to things like that. The only problem I have with the entire movie is there's one really shit CGI effect where Kirk is on a bike and he gets transported in and he's riding the bike, and it is the fakest CGI I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
And that's it.
That's a pretty good ratio.
It even has, talking about Wyclef Jean in fucking Discovery, they even have contemporary music in it, but make it work. Because there's, I think it's a Public Enemy song playing, and it's just and it's an alien who's listening to it because they've got an ancient Earth thing. Well,
they've
not
got a
ancient,
mini disc player.
It's from the post-Enterprise era, and even the ship called the Franklin looks like it belongs in the Prime timeline.
Nice,
and because it would have come from the Prime timeline. Even see, this is it. Everything about it just is everything I dislike about modern Trek. They fixed. So they did Public Enemy, and it works. And they even put in the Beastie Boys, and it's stupid, but it's the kind of stupid that kind of works in Star Trek.
How?
I don't know, but I think it's because it earns so much good feeling from someone who cares about this stuff, who cares about the continuity and stuff. It earns so much good feeling from it that you can let something silly slide. It doesn't annoy you because it's earned the right to do its own thing.
Yeah.
I know that sounds silly, because it says that, a new piece of fiction can't do its own thing.
Oh, no, I get you.
I think the problem was, and is especially evident in both Discovery and Into Darkness, being the two prime ones that do this, that they seem to actively not care about Star Trek whilst doing things that get in the way, without making something entirely new. They keep trying to drag in the things you love, so you kind of just sitting there getting slowly pissed off at it because it's not. I mean, at the end of the day, I know they're not actually doing this, but it feels like there is an active contempt towards you as a fan.
It's just they get things wrong in such a way that it makes it feel like a personalized attack.
Yeah, and that's what it feels like. Whereas this is even the things that are silly and ridiculous. It all feels like it's from a place of love for the series.
Yeah, well,
I think
it totally is, because I mean, Simon Pegg is just a massive Trekkie. He was probably as upset by the things that are bothering you as you were.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the fact that all those things, I do kind of put it at the feet of that, with a different writing staff and a different director, that's all it needed. The actual cast is hearing them say lines that feel like the original characters, the original actors would say, makes me go, all of these really work as the characters they're supposed to be playing. They all completely work.
That's the weird thing with a lot of movies, is that you can sit there and go, this person was the fucking worst in the world, like Robert Pattinson in Twilight.
Yeah.
Whereas he's not actually a bad actor. He was just directed fucking terribly and the script was garbage.
I've heard
Hayden Christensen. He hated it.
And he fucking knew it, and I love that man.
Yeah, I've heard Hayden Christensen, who played Anakin Skywalker in the prequels, I've heard he's actually a decent actor. I've not seen anything else, but I've heard he's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
it's just, he was directed
terribly.
terribly.
It is a tricky thing. It's like, is an actor just really that bad? Or are they being directed piss poorly?
Yeah.
Is the script that bad? It's a tricky one. But no, I'm really glad that, Star Trek's got a good movie, because it's been too fucking long.
Yeah, and see, I'm not just a curmudgeon who doesn't like anything new. Like I say, I like it better than most of the movies.
Well, Star Trek Beyond isn't exactly new. It's a few years old by now. So.
Well, yeah, but it's the latest movie in the series.
I'm just ribbing you prat.
And as far as Star Trek goes, honestly, it's the best thing to happen to Star Trek since Deep Space Nine.
You and your bonus for Deep Space Nine, which I will agree are pretty warranted.
Yeah, because I mean, I get it. There's some good episodes of Voyager, and I'm sure there's some good episodes of Enterprise. Should I ever actually get past about 10 episodes of it?
I don't know. Ooh.
But yeah.
Ooh.
So I just wanted to point out that yes, I can like new Star Trek. It's good. I like Beyond. It's very good. I have some video games to talk about too.
Ooh.
Really?
I do.
Ooh.
So the first one I will mention, because I've been playing a shit ton of this. It's not like a new game or anything, but it's called Defense Grid: The Awakening.
Oh, is that what you've been playing?
That does sound like a shitty mobile game.
It really does, doesn't it?
Continuing a topic, but...
So, because I don't know if this is something we'll ever play on the channel, because it's sort of I don't know how to make this sort of game entertaining for other people to watch.
Well, you could be shirtless.
I don't think anyone needs that.
And also, you don't film yourself while recording, so...
Well,
no one
no.
would know.
You could just be like, "Hey guys, Wib here with duct tape on my nipples," and then everyone would be like, "You have my attention."
I don't think that's... No.
That
Really?
is almost exactly how the internet works, to be fair.
Yeah, really.
Okay.
Well, you know what you do? You just describe what your feet are doing every 5 minutes.
I think that might get an audience that I am not comfortable at dealing with.
Are you sure?
I mean, if you get off on that kind of stuff, all
Hey,
power
hey,
to
no.
you. But I personally do not, and it would make me somewhat uncomfortable to be involved in someone getting off in that
I feel that it
regard.
would be very dishonest if you were kind of weren't into that.
Yeah.
You were it feels a bit manipulative.
It
so
does.
yeah, then you just sit there and go, "My butt it's sounding out the alphabet."
Okay, I'm going to carry on with what I was talking about.
Huh? I'm sorry. I'm trying to just make your gameplay life a little bit easier.
So
Tell us what you think in the comments if Wib should just start spelling the alphabet with his butthole.
I want to say thank you to someone who, and I hope I get the pronunciation right, Avani DK is, I think, how they intend it to be
A
pronounced.
Death Knight main, eh?
Maybe.
Ah.
They gifted it to the channel, and I don't know if we'll ever get to play it, because I don't know if it'll work in any of the kind of the formats that we do. But I have been playing the shit out of it, and I really like it.
He really has been, so thank you for just, I don't know, keeping him off the street, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a tower defense game, but it's just... I think it was originally like a mobile game, and it got ported. I might be wrong, though, but that's the impression that I get. And it's just a nice little thing, and it's really kind of basic. It's exactly what you expect for a tower defense game. Like, some levels, they're just walking on a path and you just put things at the side of it, and on some levels you build the towers to create a maze for them to walk through. And there's just loads of different variants that you can do, like ones where it's endless, some where it's a set amount, there's like a story to it. And somewhere, you'll have, like, various handicaps, like you can only build level 1 towers, or you start out with a set amount of resources and you don't gain any more, and you got to defend against all these waves.
Sounds like it's got a good bit of content.
It does have quite a lot of content to it.
Especially if it's a ported mobile game, because I
just want to point out, I might be wrong about that.
Okay.
So I don't want to harp on
Well,
it.
even then, like, considering most like little games nowadays,
Well, yeah.
but being massively down on
it does have a ton of DLC as well, for more content. The person also gifted one of those to me, which was the Contagion or Containment. I forget the name of it offhand. There is one called You Monster, which the AI in it, from what I understand, is replaced with GLaDOS. Because it's a Portal crossover, so I might have to pick that up.
That's good.
Because
Ooh,
anything
I
that
like
makes
some
me
of
think of Portal makes me happy.
that. Yeah, this is true. You're a bit of a hoe for Portal.
I do like Portal a lot. But the one thing that kind of shocked me about it is, so there is a story running through it of, evil aliens are attacking and you have to defend them, and there's an AI that's helping you that used to be a human but is like inside a machine. And towards the very end, there's just a really nice little character moment that came out of nowhere. Because, like, while the writing's not bad or anything, you're not really paying too much attention.
It's a tower defense game. You
But
gotta
then,
be focusing on that.
throughout the thing, the AI has mentioned a few times how he used to really like raspberries.
Aww.
But he can't eat them anymore because he's not human anymore.
I want to upload raspberries to this sweet boy.
And so he's talking about, like, so, you go have, like, a celebratory bowl of raspberries on me. And, maybe one day you go home to your family now, and because the threat is sorted, and maybe one day I can, I don't know, hijack onto a remote server and come visit you and your family. And I don't know what use I could be to you, being a machine made for war. But I'll just say this: I've got nothing against blueberries either. It's just a nice little bit of character moment out of sort of, and you're just not expecting it.
I don't like it because I can feel my cold dead heart thawing.
Yeah. Also on the DLC, because it's like in canon with that stuff, it goes back and you show up and you're like captain by that point. You're the person you're playing is, And he's like, oh, welcome back. It's been a long time since I've seen you. You've made captain. Couldn't it happen to a nicer guy? Like this little banter, and it's like, oh,
Why didn't you invite him over for blueberries?
I know, I didn't
You
have...
horrible fucking person. I'm so mad at you. That poor computer sweet darling.
But yeah, I mean, I've spent like 10, 11 hours playing it today. So I guess that's worked out quite well. I do really enjoy it. I don't know how much it actually costs normally, but I can recommend it if you see it and the price seems right and you like tower defense games, because it's a pretty decent one.
Was it Defense Grid The Awakening?
Defense Grid The Awakening. And yeah, there's a shit ton of DLC. Although, to be honest, I've barely touched it, the DLC at all.
Okay.
So
I guess that's when you get royally bored, then you can move on to the
yeah,
DLC.
but there's a load of it, so, The other game is also similarly kind of a strategy game, which is what we played for the last Snipe and Wood Play, which was... Deathwatch.
Tyranid Invasion.
It's
or Deathwatch Enhanced Edition.
Yeah, I'm not sure what its official name is, because on Steam it's Warhammer 40,000 Deathwatch Enhanced Edition, whereas the actual game in the actual game itself is called Tyranid Invasion.
Yeah.
And in the actual...
That is a mobile port.
Yeah, that is a mobile port. In all of the write-ups for it, it just calls it Deathwatch. Like, explicitly just calls it Deathwatch. So I don't know what its official name is supposed to be. Because it's got 3 separate ones.
The executable is called Deathwatch Game, so...
Who knows?
Let's just call it Deathwatch Game.
So yeah, that's obviously a Warhammer 40,000 game based on the Deathwatch, which if you're not familiar, although I'm sure everyone listening to this probably is.
Imagine if there's one person listening to us who goes, what the fuck is 40k?
The Deathwatch are a faction within, it's the... I forget which order it is. It's the Ordo Xenos of the Inquisition, where they get together... they get Marines of various different chapters to form these super elite squads. So
it's really cool.
So it's basically, and they paint their armor black. They have one of their chapter insignia swapped to the other shoulder pad, and where their chapter insignia would be, they've got this big silver Inquisition engraved thing.
Left arm that's all like fancy.
Yeah, it's
really cool.
It's
great if you want to just get a really ragtag bunch of just every chapters together.
It's what to do if you can't decide what chapter you want to collect. Collect Deathwatch so you can collect all of them, basically.
And they're pretty easy to paint too.
They're also mostly black, so yes. Yeah. Relatively easy to paint. So they made a game based on that. It's like a turn-based strategy thing, grid-based movement, action points.
Action point kind of jobby.
Killing Tyranids because they kill aliens. That's their job.
Ordo Xenos, yeah.
And now it's a mobile port, and as such, certain elements of it are really badly designed. Like the actual UI for managing your squad is fucking appalling.
It's not very good.
It is shockingly bad, and it does not and sometimes there's loads of little mechanics it really does not communicate to you about. Like plasma guns overheat after so many shots.
Oh,
does not communicate that at all.
That's probably why we couldn't put that one guy on Overwatch.
Yeah, the game just behaves like it's broken. When that happens. It does have a little logo in the corner, but there's no tooltips when you highlight things because it's designed for a touchscreen. So, yeah.
Oh, well.
But underneath all that, there is... You see, it's quite expensive as a game. I think it was like 20 quid when it first came out. But
too much.
But it's like 11 quid now.
I'd still say that's a bit too much. I'd say a $5 I'd be happy paying.
Yeah.
So maybe if you're interested, wait until it gets on sale.
I mean, we got it for like £1 on sale a while back.
Yeah, so yeah, wait for it on sale.
Yeah. Now, the game that we played through for the video, that's sort of the introductory
the first
chapter of the campaign.
Chapters, isn't it?
Well, it's the first like 4 or 5 missions, I think it was.
Yeah, that's the
which
one.
is like the introductory chapter to the game. Now, the thing that we didn't realise was that the game's kind of quite narrow at that point. Like, you get given a small handful of Marines, 3 of which of the 5 you get are Ultramarines for some reason. Even though the whole point of Deathwatch is you're supposed to have a ton of different chapters and that's the fun.
Yeah.
They just give you a shit ton of Ultramarines and a Space Wolf and a Blood Angel.
Mm-hmm. Sausage Sanger.
Yes, we did name them very silly things in the video.
Yeah, they had excellent names.
Thank you. Also, with editing, I love what you did with Jürgen the Self-Aware. I was just like, hey. Staring up at us. I loved it.
I'm glad you like that. So you get this, and it's like, it's a perfectly functional, basic turn-based thing, sort of like XCOM, but nowhere near as in-depth, but with a 40k coat of paint. And that game, in and of itself, is interesting. And I'm like, okay, this is not bad. It's nothing fantastic. It's far from the worst Games Workshop mobile port, that being Warhammer Arcane Magic, which is fucking terrible. Don't ever play it.
Please don't. Not even as a joke.
Yeah. Now, the original version of the game had microtransactions in it. The version on Steam does not, which is one of the reasons it's a bit more expensive than the mobile version. I'll say a bit. I think the one on mobile is like £2.
Yeah.
But again, it has microtransactions, which you can buy packs. Now, in those packs, you can get more specialised marines. So, like, the first one we got was a Blood Angel Apothecary, or a Sanguinary Priest, as they're actually called. And you can get more elaborate ones, like I think you can get Rune Priests, and you can get Tyrannic War Veterans, like for the Ultramarines.
Yeah.
And the enhanced version comes with like 5 more chapters. Because in the
Black
base,
Templars in there.
yeah, because in the base game there are Blood Angels, Space Wolves, and Ultramarines. But in the enhanced edition, there is Black Templars, Dark Angels, Imperial Fists, and Silver Skulls. I think there's one more.
The Kylo Minogue.
Yeah, Kylo Minogue.
Yeah, Kylo Minogue.
But anyway, yeah, there's the more enhanced, so there's more stuff added with the enhanced edition. But this base version, like we played through the basic version of the campaign, it's like, okay, that's interesting. I mean, quite like it.
As like from what we played, I'm sitting there going, it's the UI is a bit fucky, but the game in itself is perfectly functional. Feels like a good way to waste 10 minutes if I fancy it.
Yeah. Now, once you play past the exact point we stopped for the video. Like, literally, we stopped at the point at which the game changes. Where you go into the campaign proper, and you have sort of enough XP to start unlocking traits for characters. Because I think they all have, like, an inherent trait, but you can unlock extra ones. So, like, Jurgen, the self-aware, because I played for another hour or so, has unlocked the ability to hit multiple people in melee.
I'm so proud of him.
The apothecary characters can heal people. Like, you can unlock these sort of abilities, and this is the thing that really brings it to life. And I imagine there's not that much of this, like there's only so many lines, but they bring banter between the Marines, and it is banter that is chapter specific.
Oh.
So, and also specific to certain things. So, our highest, like, kill count character is Jurgen.
Jurgen is Bay.
And the new Blood Angel that we got was complaining at him, saying, like, because Jurgen had said, I have the highest kill count, let me take this one down. And so the Blood Angel's like, no, that your logic is very flawed. At which point Jurgen just turns around and goes, that sounds like the talk of a loser.
It's such a Space Wolf thing to say. I'm surprised he didn't just like start going, like punching himself in the face, going, "Stop hitting yourself."
And one of the other Blood Angel, Sausage Sandwich, people know, he was asking one of the Ultramarines,
"What's it like to be in the most boring chapter?"
No, he asked him he was he fought in the battle for Macragge against the
Leviathan,
against, I think it was High Fleet Leviathan, and saying, so what is it like to be fighting them once again? And the Ultramarines like, yes, it is great to face against this foe again, But
I love that so much. That's
it's like
so good.
Little references to lore that, though not like super in depth, like hard, like no one knows this, like obscure lore or anything. It's just slightly more acknowledgement of lore than most of this era of 40k game actually does.
I'd say, like, just that alone makes me really warm up to it.
Yeah, like...
Because, wow, like, you have Marines, and I'm not going to say behaving like people, but they're behaving like they exist. They're having conversations with each other.
They're showing the brotherhood that is very
common. They're showing the brotherhood
yeah.
between Astartes, and I'm like... I really like seeing that. That is so good.
So I hear that the actual gameplay gets very samey very quickly. Well, so after a few hours of play, even though like there's elements of the game that are good, you'll have kind of seen everything the game has to offer, because the missions are pretty much just like the same 4 enemies over and over again in different maps, and that's about it. But if you can pick it up for a couple of quid, for those first few hours just kind of playing with it, I think it's actually way better than it has any right to be. I do quite like it.
Oh my god, I've just realised. This is a podcast where you've liked like 3 things.
Oh,
I know.
that feels uncomfortable.
Oh, I don't like that.
Have I actually...
No, it's 4 things.
I was even quite complimentary of Star Trek Discovery.
I don't like it.
Hang on, I need to check your mouth. I need to check you to see if you're not a thing.
If I'm the thing,
Yeah,
or
I need to
some kind of
remove
reptilian.
some blood.
On the note that I might actually have been replaced by a much more hopeful reptilian version of myself, I think it's time to move on to our reoccurring segment of the emails.
Yay, it's time for the emails with Drama Matt reading the emails. And that email is...
OnlyDrummerMatt at snipeandwib@gmail.com.
Send us an email if you want us to read it, or more specifically, if you want Drama Matt to read your email.
You need to work on the jingle.
I panicked.
I noticed.
I panicked. Drama Matt, email.
We have had some emails. It surprises me every time.
Yay!
Every time I check them the day before we record.
I love. Thank you guys. Keep sending us emails in. I like it, and I can come up with a better theme tune.
Although I think I'm going to say this is the time limit for getting the picture. I think if you wanted the picture, that now is the time, and now it's too late.
Okay, you guys have 2 weeks.
Well, no,
to get that one
yeah,
picture.
maybe. Okay, well, I was going to say stop now, but I guess
You can't just cut people off
You
like
can't.
that, man.
You got to give them.
Yeah.
some time. So
Okay.
2 weeks from today, you within that 2 weeks, if you want to see the most powerfully erotic image of Drummer Matt, you need to email us at
OnlyDrummerMatt at snipeandwib@gmail.com.
that's the email for the sexy picture of Drummer
the
Matt.
email we chose and then have to live with.
Yeah, I'm regretting it every fucking podcast.
So what have people been saying, Matthew?
I mean, obviously there was the standard horde of Drummer Matt is the best.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
people sending pictures of their underwear to you.
Yeah, the standard stuff.
Yeah.
I guess first up we have 2 emails from various Inquisitors.
Oh, I love these ones.
We have Inquisitor Leon Andrews, who we spoke to before. He was the one who was questioning our use of proto-nids in the chapter, and then subsequently approved them after I sent them a reassuring photo proving our worth and whatnot.
Yes.
Turns out, after approving our use of them, he actually got forced.
He's disproved it.
No,
It's not suitable for
he got
advertisers.
accused of heresy himself by fellow Inquisitors, and he had to flee. So now he's wondering if he's searching the gallery for the glorious homeworld of Oh My Goodness.
Oh yeah.
So he's
It's a
wondering
good place to
whether
be.
he can join us here. He can help out with various bits and bobs. He's highly
We have been looking for a janitor.
trained in being an asshole, apparently. So
Oh, dude, there's all of us are. Sorry, we're gonna
So-
need more than that.
Of course he is welcome on our glorious homeworld. It is a home for waifs and strays.
I mean, like my Fenrisian wolf petting zoo does need mucking out, so we can stick you in there for a while. They are very big. They do bite.
We were always looking for people to staff the Adeptus Janitorum.
That sounds. We are really ripping on this podcast. Come help muck out.
No,
muck
I just
out,
genuinely like the idea of someone who is an inquisitor, like the highest of the high, responsible to the emperor and the emperor alone,
I am of the Ordo Janitorium.
has been brought down to the point that they have to muck out the Fenrisian wolves.
Well, yeah. I mean, they do eat a lot of meat, so it's not going to be very good. But
So Bill Gates going to work at a petting zoo.
some of the meat being previous janitors, I guess we could probably say.
some of it. That's horrible.
Next question.
Related to this further chapter news, chapter master Beltsaros Agamemnon.
Belts are us.
Belts are us. Yes, I feel he's a chapter master of Iwe Archduke. Blah blah blah. He's got a long title. It's
okay.
Yeah, blah blah blah. This is following up from the degrees of codex compliancy.
Okay.
Where you, Wiblet, were you could either be compliant or non-compliant.
That's an awfully binary system.
Turns out you're wrong. Looking back through the libraries, they found a book in their ancient libraries called the Codex Space Marines 4th edition. Something like that.
That sounds like truly an ancient and wondrous tome.
I'm sure
very
it is,
precious
I'm
to
sure
the
it is.
Imperium of Man.
And it proves we're wrong, so I mean...
I assume it's going along the lines of that it is possible to be Codex compliant except for this thing that they do and that thing that they do.
Kind of. There's 3 degrees of divergence from Codex. So you can be compliant, or you can have minor divergence, notable divergence, or significant divergence.
Would you say we have notable or significant?
Probably significant. You see,
I'd say significant because I literally have a fucking Fenrisian petting zoo.
You see, whilst I will concede that totally there is the whole thing of that some chapters are compliant to some degree but not. I would say that's more of an issue of how you define things. Whereas when I'm talking about something being compliant or not, to me, something that has any break from the Codex is therefore not Codex compliant.
Okay, this has become a bit of a actually fight, and I'm really bored. So can we just move on?
No. I'm just saying they are right, but but this is down to how and I am aware of this. Just I personally define it as you're either compliant or you're not. But you can have something that's not compliant but still adheres to the Codex in most ways. It's just as soon as they differ from it, then I consider them not Codex compliant.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
We are...
Like the Blood Angels are mostly Codex compliant, but not at the same time, so I don't really consider them.
Okay, well, we are significantly deviant. What is it? We have significant deviation, I would say. Because again, we're always stealing shit from the Space Wolves as well. Like Luke is always hanging out. Approved, yeah.
It's approved significant divergence, I think.
Yes.
It's fine.
It's fine. We still think the Emperor has got like the nicest butt in the galaxy, so...
Yeah.
I mean, that's what matters.
And the biggest space dick, obviously.
Well, obviously. It's like a banana boat.
Fucking hell.
You bring it out in the summer and ride it all over the lake.
Can we just move on and say that person was right, and that's okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Talk about the banana dinghy.
Let's not.
Okay.
And then, as last week, there seems to be the most popular questions about D&D.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
There's a couple. So first we've got Chris Wharton.
Okay.
He came to the gig. He said it was awesome, apart from the drummer being a bit ropey due to having no sticks and being in his pants. Which, I mean, I think those two are the defining features of drummers, to be honest. But
the thing is, dude, you like ropey is in like you were cranky.
No, I think ropey is in dodgy.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. You are very dodgy. You look like you're about to sell like a toddler crack or something. But that's just how drummers are. Second only to bassists.
But the question, or rather the statement, which I assume implies a question, so he says he'd love to play D&D, but he's the only nerdy one of his friends. So I assume the question to that is, how would he get into it if he doesn't have, the obvious... Like I was like, I fancy playing D&D, or I have obvious people to play D&D with.
Yeah.
If anyone's met you guys.
I think the thing is that we're approaching a point at which anyone can kind of play D&D. Like
we're approaching a good point where it's quite accessible.
Like I know there's a handful of like friends and family members I know who are not even remotely into like kind of nerdy geek culture, but they play D&D.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm gonna steal a quote from Matt Colville and say, "Don't ask your friends to play D&D. Make them play D&D. Show up and you're just playing D&D.
Yeah,
so I mean, here's a character sheet.
That was exactly my first tip, basically.
Don't threaten them with a knife, though. That doesn't help.
Unless they like it, in which case, maybe.
Yeah, it depends how seriously role-playing you want to get.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Like, everyone feels really stupid the first time they start role-playing. Everyone feels really cringy.
Yeah.
And so just kind of like have a bit of fun with it. Your first few sessions aren't gonna be fantastic, like epics. It's gonna be everyone kind of giggling and like, well, I wanna put my finger in the dwarven guardsman's mouth and call him daddy. It's gonna be weird like that.
You haven't stopped doing that yet, so
fucking throw me under the bus. And he said he liked that.
I think in a way it's kind of useful to have at least one game where people are sort of allowed to do things like, I'm going to call my half-orc Scroat.
To be fair, I would let that happen, and then everywhere he went, people would laugh at him and just lock him outside the inn.
But to have to have that sort of game to get the jokes
sillies out.
To get the sillies out.
Yeah, like have a preliminary kind of separated game, just to see how everyone feels. Like, someone might not like the character or class they've picked. They people don't know what they're gonna like. They might be more RP balanced, or like more geared towards RP, or they might be a bit more kind of like, I like the mechanics of it more. Like, you just don't know. So like have a preliminary session where you can fuck about a good bit and get the sillies out with all the groping NPCs or fucking whatever it is.
A no pressure, people are allowed to be silly.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not that, a D&D game can't be silly, because you've heard about the bullshit we get up to.
Oh my god, yeah. And I never put my finger in a guardsman's mouth.
Yet.
Drama Matt is making that up, and that's not a yet thing. It's not a thing that's going to happen. Now Drama Matt's going to do everything in his power to make it so that there will be a situation where Nathan thinks that's the only way out.
Yep. But yeah, that...
Look at that DM fucking laugh. If your DM laughs like that, run. Run. Don't think. No, stop this, Matt. Oh my god.
I'm just going to point out the fact that you're saying this is making it so that now he's going to be thinking about this.
I know.
He wasn't going to make this
He already
happen.
got me over a barrel last fucking session. Like, really fucking, like, spanking my ass over his knee. It was horrible.
Someone hasn't listened to the couple of podcasts ago. They're going to have no idea what you're talking about and think that our D&D game is fucking wild.
It's not that wild. It's fine.
We've been playing from the Book of Erotic Fantasy.
Nymphology.
Oh, please don't make that noise after he says that.
I'm going to have to sit on my hands. Ooh.
So yeah, I think the conclusion there is just tell your friends you're playing it.
I did reply.
Show up and you're like, we're playing D&D, and then just fucking play it, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to be really hard, I'm going to have to memorize about 8 different fucking billion stats, and it's not like that anymore. And
as a player, you don't have to remember anything, really. You just,
you
just say what you want
anything.
to do, and you're like, oh, can I try and do this? And then it's up to the DM to deal with that shit.
To be fair, you can even do sort of proto D&D where you don't really even involve the stats and things, where you basically just act it out in a very vague manner. You just get people to make their characters, and then the DM can sort of just do the rolling just vaguely.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Do what you're comfortable with. The beauty of D&D is that you can house rule fucking everything if you want. You can do whatever you like. So, do what you're comfortable with, and just show up at your parents, show up at your mate's house, and just be like, we're playing D&D, motherfuckers, and then just playing D&D with them.
Yeah.
And hopefully, like, because a good chunk of them will be like, this is really weird, I haven't played anything like this, let's play some more. And there might be one or two who are just like, eh.
And if your friends don't want to play D&D, get new friends.
Yeah, because they're bad friends.
That is sort of the second point I made. The second point I made is, so either just say to your mates, okay, we're going to give this a go, I'll run it all, and then create characters for them, and you'll have to take charge as being the DM, but that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you can't, even if you try that and people don't like it, like, there's
find new friends.
Well, but there's like, if you're where you live has a board game cafe or a gaming shop or anything like that. I mean, there's one in Derby, which isn't a big city, and they do I think it's on Thursday night, like you can just rock up and there's a DM there and you can just play a session with them. Really?
Is that the one opposite that tattoo parlour you went to?
It is, yes.
Because every time I walk past there, I'm like, oh, I really want to go in.
Yeah, they do I can't remember, it's one night a week. They even do like D&D group finding, like blind dating. Not quite, but like they just did a night where it's like just everyone rocks up and you can just chat to people and find a group. Like, they do those fairly often, and things like that.
Like, you mean kind of like D&D mixers kind of
Yeah,
thing?
exactly.
That's a fantastic idea.
So you can just go and chat to some people, anyone you click with, you can be like, okay, well, let's have a session.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
I assume there's similar things like that in other towns and around.
Yeah, I would definitely say so.
And if not, the third bit of advice I gave was that, we play via Roll20. Mm-hmm. You can choose to make your game public if you want. And then there's advertising boards that you can go onto where people say, oh, I'm looking for a player, or I'm looking for a DM, or I'm looking for a group, or things like that.
I mean, I don't know how that would work, because immediately I'm kind of like, oh, I don't want to play with some random stranger on the internet.
Yeah, of course.
But this is the thing, if you don't gel, you don't gel. And if it fucks, then it's just another funny or cautionary tale for the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so get out, make your friends play D&D.
That's the best option, because most people would probably enjoy it if they try it.
They just, it's just
as
very
long as you
intimidating.
just have to run a game like they'd want to. Like, people have different preferences, like you said, and people who want to roleplay it. Some people will be say, "Oh, my character is going to do this," and some people will say, "Oh, I am doing this because this is me." And it both work depending on how much.
Although I do feel personally attacked right now. But no. And best of luck with finding a gaming group.
Yes, hope it all goes well.
Good luck.
Getting a gaming group together with you.
Following on from that, it's a quite closely related question from Damon, and just to clarify, that's D-A-M-O-N, not demon with an A and mispronounced Damon. Because I saw that.
See, I was just thinking.
You just pronounced that demon.
I was just thinking it was the captain of a Ferengi starship. So.
So I saw that on. I can't even remember what it was on. It was on some YouTube video, and they pronounced Damon. I was like, oh,
yeah, I've seen
why
that.
are you the worst?
So I'm going to get my chaos demons, and I'm like, fucking
No.
what, mate?
Yeah.
Anyway,
What?
this is actual Damon. Said that we sound good at RPing. We being, I guess, you guys.
Aw.
And do we do anything, or I guess, do you do anything to practice beyond just doing it? I guess.
No. I don't.
Well, no, I wouldn't say I practice. I just roleplay a good bit.
Yeah, you do it a lot.
What, sorry?
You do it quite a lot, I think, from the sounds of it.
That's
not a
as
criticism.
often as I'd like. No. I'd like to do it more, but then again, I honestly, if I could play D&D every other day, I would happily do that.
Yeah. If time wasn't an issue, I'd happily do it at least once a week.
Oh, I would love doing it once a week. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
But no, like with my role playing, like the reason Nathan is so fleshed out as he is because he's like a 2-year-old character. I've been running on Warcraft roleplay servers and just kind of fleshing him out since there, and that does kind of really kick your ass into gear for role playing. And plus I think it helps that I really enjoy it too.
I think it probably also helps that as people, we hate ourselves and want to be other people.
Oh my fucking god.
Wow.
Actually, yes, that also helps a lot.
Oh, I'm laughing through the pain.
I'm laughing through the tears. But no, yeah. It's, I guess you could call that practice. I do it a lot more often than you guys. Because I'm a fucking nerd.
And honestly, I think it's just one of those things of that it can be a little, like anything, it can be a little awkward and weird at first, but as you go on, you get more used to... Your character kind of fleshes himself out in your mind.
You start realizing what how your character differs from you as a person.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do for character development is the lie game. It's I can't remember where I picked it up, but it's say like I'm talking to Wib about his character Johnny, and I go, I would, if in a bar and I didn't have any money to pay with, I would punch someone in the face and run. And then you go, no, they wouldn't do that, and then it helps you kind of discover a little bit more about your character.
Someone can, someone asks you questions about your character and...
Or someone makes deliberate false assumptions about your character, so you correct them, and you go, no, that wouldn't work. And then you go, why wouldn't that work?
Yeah.
And you kind of flesh it out. That's how I do it in my head. There's like a writer's resource online that does that, where it's like, you name 5 things about your character, you name 3 bizarre traits they have. The examples given, I think, are like only bathes on weekends, like won't throw out bottle caps and stuff like that. And then there's like 5 lies about your character. And like I think the lies really do help because it kind of kicks into gear. It's like, oh, like Nathan is afraid of cats. It's like, well, no, he's not afraid of cats. And then you go, what is he afraid of? You go, well, he's okay. And then it helps you kind of pinpoint certain parts of your character.
You start to establish what he actually, well, what your character actually is like by finding out what they're not like.
Yeah, exactly. So it's as weirdly backward as that sounds, I find that incredibly helpful. And yeah, you've just got to keep in mind, or at least this is the way I do it anyway, where you're in a situation and you sit there and go, you can, because if you don't know what your character would do, you could go, okay, he'll do what I want to do, and then you go, no, he wouldn't do that, because of he knows this, or he's done this, or this person he once knew, so they act a certain way.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of, it's like, almost like writing 1/5 of a book. So you don't know where it's going to go, but you know exactly what your character's going to do.
Yeah.
So yeah. And don't always focus on winning or having the most heroic or big dick option. Just go with what your character would do. Or unless it's being the biggest heroic big dick guy is what your character would do, in which case go fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Now I just want to roleplay again now. Damn it!
Personally, if I was to have a character that thought they were a big dick hero, I would intentionally make them the shittest character.
You mean like Nathan?
Kinda.
He's not that bad.
Well, it's not...
He always thinks he's a little bit better than he actually is,
Yeah.
and that falls away the moment he gets hit by a fucking goblin, and he's like, oh, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh no. Which,
if you're down,
you get
down
some
a few
great
hit points,
stories.
you're just limping along, being like, I nearly died. Oh,
Yeah,
someone
that's-
carry me.
Okay, that's Nathan in a nutshell. I've got the biggest dick in the world. A mosquito lands on his balls. Oh, what a world!
My dick is slain.
My dick is slain.
I mean, to be fair, that would be very uncomfortable.
It would, I
Yeah.
can imagine. But Nathan's a drama queen, so...
So, moving on from the subject of Nathan's balls...
We always, the past 4 sessions of D&D, we've started talking about Nathan's dick.
Yes.
Do you remember the one where we're about to get into that room and Ash and Talos started talking about how his dick was so big he had to sling it over his shoulder?
We've just basically
Yes.
gone, moving on from his balls, let's talk about his dick.
I'm sorry.
I think it was implied.
Can we just move on from Nathan's genitals in general?
Okay, guys, I know this is what you're here for. You don't give a shit about video games. You want to hear about my character and his weird genitals. Like, comment, subscribe for more Nathan's balls.
Questions.
Questions, yeah. Next question. Thank you for that question. It was fun.
That's actually it for now. There's a couple more sort of in the fire, but I'll mention those next time because I'm asking them follow-up questions anyway. Because all these emails I
Okay.
have been replying to before we talk about them as well. So
Yeah.
Okay.
there's a couple of back and forths that that'll probably be a question that I can ask next time. But for now, we're done.
Okay, excellent.
But no, and we haven't played D&D when we were going to because of some family emergencies.
Yeah, hopefully
So-
we're playing not this weekend, but the weekend after. So that'll be before
Yes,
the
so
next
hopefully
podcasting
we'll have
session.
some more amazing tales for you next time.
Yes, hopefully.
Yes, and keep sending your questions in because they're a lot of fun.
Yes, definitely.
And, this is your last chance to get that violently seductive picture of Drummer Matt. So you've got it. If you've been wondering, oh yeah, I'll message in next week. No, you got to do it now.
I will say violently seductive is a good word. I do feel like I was assaulted when I looked at it.
Fucking Christ, man.
Well, you didn't ask to receive it, whereas all these guys at least asked to receive it.
Oh, okay, can we just move on from that? Wow.
Yeah, okay. This has been the last ever episode of the MisanthroPod. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay. I'm going to pretend that didn't happen. Thank you, everyone, who sent in questions, and thank you for listening. I've been Snipe, and this has been Wib, and there's been Drummer Matt, and please join us for our bi-weekly podcast in 2 weeks, where we'll talk about anything else apart from what I'm trying to fucking segue from.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!
Bye.